Welcome to the tutorial for the CSV and QBO to IIF Converter. This is for versions 3.8 or newer. It has a bit more features than my previous video, so I thought I'd kind of show them off. First, we're going to start by loading up a demo file, or you could load up a QBO. Mine's in CSV file format, so we're going to go ahead and click on CSV. And we're going to go ahead and load documents and demo. So at this point, if you wanted to, you can just convert it as is. Just select all, and when you click convert, it says, is it going to a bank account in QuickBooks, a credit card account in QuickBooks, or are these all transfers? So you can choose which one you want. And you can just say all bank, okay, and we're going to call it demo 4, and save. And it says success, it's been imported into personal checking. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and change this to whatever you want, like bank account. Click set default account, convert. And let's just say it's a credit card, and we'll just do demo 5, and it says it's been put into the bank account. So that's how it works. So today I want to show you an even better part of the program called the pattern editor. And it's really cool, and it's going to save you a ton of work. Here's how it works. So first, we're going to go ahead and we'll just deselect all. And we'll click on Create and Edit Patterns. And since we don't have one, we'll make a new one. We'll click Save. Let's call this one Demo, Demo. Let's call it Demo 5, Jason. So here's how it works. First off, let's pick a transaction that we want to have it automatically rename. So let's do Hy-Vee. I'd recommend not taking the entire word because any part of that word could change. Take something in the middle that's probably never going to change, like this one. So here's a Hy-Vee transaction. And what do I want to rename it to? Well, in my books, it is called Hy-Vee. Now, I'd recommend copying and pasting it from QuickBooks. That way you don't fat finger the account or the name, and everything goes off that hitch. Now, for this, the account, this could be anything for me at Hy-Vee. It could be food, toilet paper, can opener, creamer, who knows. So I like to handle this one in QuickBooks when I just handle it myself. So I like to put this one in Premier Debit Offset. You could give it an account right now, but for me, I'm going to add it to the list, and it's going to say it's empty. Do you want to add it to Premier Debit Offset? We're going to say yes. Now over here, it shows you, what's kind of cool is it shows you what it matched and what it replaced with. That way, if you have more than one Hy-Vee, you can see which one you want to edit based on what it matched. Next transaction, let's do PayPal. Now this is when you transfer your PayPal funds from PayPal over to your bank account. And that would be a transfer. So we're going to match PayPal, replace it with PayPal, and in my case, it goes to Online Payments Services PayPal. Now, this is also a transfer, so you just click on Transfer, and what happens there is that puts a check mark right here when we load this file. Then when you convert it to an IIF file, this will treat this as a transfer. So I'll show you that later. So we're going to click on Add to List. Now, it also color codes transfers. So transfers are orange. That way when you have a large list of vendors, you can say, hey, that was a transfer. Let's move on to Premier Communications. Now this one is my landline. Yes, I know, I still have a landline. And it's my internet. So let's split this transaction automatically for you every time. So we're going to replace that with Premier Communications. And the first one is the first account in the split. That's amount 1. My landline telephone is $31. And that goes into business direct expense, business telephone. The remainder is my internet, which would be $109.22. And that goes into business direct expense, business internet service. At this point, too, we can give it a memo if you want. And yeah, so we're going to click Add to List. It's going to say the field's empty. Otherwise, if it's a split, hit Yes. When you hit Yes, it puts it in blue or purple, whatever you want to think that color is. And it automatically puts the word split right here. So you can look at the transactions and automatically see which ones you split just based on the color. Now we're going to click on New Item. Now the final one here that we're going to work with, well, we got one more, is my Visa payment. Now I realize that my Verizon is usually the only transaction on my Visa payment, and my Visa bill is usually only $37.96. But what if it wasn't? What if it was Microsoft Office 365 mixed in with the Visa? Then I'd have to handle it and split those two out. But I figure, what if our Visa payment, and we're going to replace it with Visa, is, and on the months where it is the amount of $37.96, that is probably always going to be my cell phone, and put it in account, direct expense, business, telephone, cell phone, and we can call it Verizon. And add to list. That's green. So the last one is deposits. And deposits I do over the internet automatically. And so when they import into QuickBooks, if they do import into QuickBooks, they're duplicates. So I got to delete them out of QuickBooks. It'd be better not to import them to begin with. So here's how we handle that. Now, I mean, you could go through and uncheck them, and it would not import them, but we could also have it do it automatically. So what to match? Deposit. Replace with, don't care, not going to use them anyway. Deposit. Deposit. Now the account. For these, you just simply type in the word ignore. Oh, and if you saw that, it actually, if you type in cell phone, it automatically autofills based on what you've previously added to this program. So that's kind of cool. So we're going to do account, and we're going to say ignore, and then add to list. That's it. Now imagine if you had hundreds of these predetermined and you imported 100 transactions. Here's how easy it is. It's pretty cool. So you just import your transaction. We're going to load the pattern file that we just created, and we're going to go to documents, and I already forgot which one it was. I think it's demo 5, which is right here, and open. And it automatically handled my transactions. Now obviously Hy-Vee I have to handle. That's these two. But everything else is going. Now, if we go up here and say select all except ignore, it selected everything except these four, which were ignore. So when we import this into my QuickBooks, my Visa is already handled, my PayPal transfer is already handled, and my Premier Communication is already split. So out of 10 transactions, I would now have to handle 2. How cool is that? Pretty neat. Well, anyway, that is the tutorial for the CSV QBO to IIF Converter version 3.8 or newer. Thanks.